Without a doubt, the main thing that separates The Last of Us for me in terms of a product is the way you intrinsically understand these characters. And I believe you become so attached to these characters specifically because how expressive they are with how they feel, what they're going through, and who they are as individuals. But what makes this story really, really interesting is the way they convey these expressions. In most stories, the best and easiest way to convey the way someone is feeling is through dialogue. What they say to another person, what they say to themselves, maybe an inner monologue of some nature. But The Last of Us does it very differently. Very often in the video games, The Last of Us characters are lying to you or other people about the way they feel. Because of their past trauma, because of their past experiences, many of these characters find it very hard to actually properly express themselves to one another. So the way the creative team overcomes this is by making their eyes very expressive. It has been stated thousands of times throughout history that eyes are the key to someone's soul. Very often, someone in the real world could be lying to you, but their eyes might be telling a different story. And I want to look at a few moments in The Last of Us where this is happening, where the eyes being the central focus make the scene so much better. The first one I want to talk about is actually the ending of The Last of Us 1. At the end of the game, as we all know if we've played it or watched the TV show, Joel lies to Ellie, telling her that basically nothing really went wrong at the Firefly hideout, that everything he's saying is correct, and that she should just believe him. And she says the words okay, saying that she trusts him, that she has faith in what he's saying. Now, we know Ellie is lying to Joel when she says okay. We also know that in a weird way, Ellie might be lying to herself. But the dialogue does not give this away. What does is her eyes. Even though she is saying the words okay, which should be a positive thing in this moment, her eyes seem kind of sad, kind of somber. They give off the vibe that they are trying to see through Joel, to see if he's telling the truth or if he's lying, and how they really feel about this. And this leaves the player with a very complicated feeling at the end of the game, because even though Ellie tells Joel that she trusts him, we have this really weird feeling that she doesn't, that she knows something is up. And we understand that because of our own experiences with people. If we were to be lying to someone or someone was lying to us, this would be an expression that we would have or see someone else have. It's something we're familiar with. Another great example of this is actually the way Abby reacts in the start of The Last of Us 2. At the start of the game, we do not know that Abby is on a mission to kill Joel. All we know is that she's just this random person who Joel and Tommy save. But there is this very small key moment when she realizes who Joel and Tommy are, that her eyes dart back and forth, signaling to us as the audience that she knows something we don't. That for some reason she is very intrigued by who they are, and not only that, she seems to be in a sort of state of shock while darting back and forth. Case in point right here, you can see them darting back and forth. Now, possibly my favorite scene showcasing this actually happens at the start of The Last of Us 2 as a flashback from the doctor's perspective of what Joel does at the end of The Last of Us 1. In this perspective, we see Joel Miller's eyes from the perspective of the doctors and nurses. Now, I am a firm believer that if Joel was thinking logically in this moment, there are a ton of logical reasons that make a lot of sense as to why Joel making this decision works in universe. But here is the thing. His eyes in this moment are not giving you the impression of a logical man who is doing this because it's making sense in his head. This is a look of pure anger and hatred. He does not say anything to tell you that he is angry or that he's about to lash out or that he feels like he must do something. No, there isn't any dialogue in this moment. All we get is this cold, intense, terrifying stare. And right before he does the stare, there was this beautiful little moment that I really encourage you to go back and watch if you don't know what I'm talking about, where his eyes are open, and then when he circles in on Ellie and realizes what's about to happen, they twitch a little bit and then get smaller. The acting on display here, the animation, whatever they did to make his face so expressive and his eyes so expressive in this moment is unbelievable. You literally see the moment his rage and anger overcomes him and he has this sole desire to protect Ellie.
This is our future. Think of all the lives we'll save.
Look at his eyes, man. And these little details that probably took so much work to get into the game are what makes The Last of Us such a phenomenal product, even if you don't like everything about it. When I see stuff of this level of complexity, this level of nuance, this level of beauty in something, it motivates me as a creator to push myself harder. And I'm not even done with my first playthrough of the second game yet, so I can only imagine how much more there is of stuff like this that is just going to blow me away. We'll be streaming all of it, by the way. But thank you for watching.